Hello and welcome everyone to a new Legacy video, and today I've got something interesting for you because what I will be playing is another one of my in a series of the best decks in Legacy. Today I am playing Sneak and Show, which recently got a big upgrade in the form of Stock Up. Why is Stock Up so good in this deck? Mainly because you can play a turn 2 with Ancient Tombs, and I think Stock Up is pretty good for this deck specifically because it works just so well together with what they are trying to do. They need to get together two pieces and get this to resolve, and Stock Up really helps. But because basically if you play it and you gain an upper hand by gaining an extra card, your opponent usually has to fight over this, but then that means they can't fight over the potential sneak attack or show and tell in your hand. So I actually got knocked out of the quarterfinals in the last tournament I played by this list. I was playing Control, which is always difficult. So I figured I'm just going to play it because I think expect to be seeing this deck a lot more from now on. Stock Up is a big upgrade for this list, I believe. But let's just dive into the list quickly, what this does. It's pretty straightforward. You either play Sneak Attack and Show and Tell, one of those two in combination with Atraxa and Emrakul. Potentially Omniscience, but you prefer to play Atraxa or Emrakul, and if you do that, you win the game. That's pretty much it. Pretty easy to get that done. A plus B combo, straightforward. I've never played this deck before, so I'm interested to see how this will work. I don't think it's going to be too difficult to know what I'm going to be doing. Of course, that doesn't mean that I'm trying to say here that the deck is easy to play, but there is a very straightforward game plan. So I do think you can pick this up relatively quickly. We'll see if I prove this to be true. And then you have some fast mana, Lotus Petal, Simeon, Spirit Guides, Brainstorms, Ponders, you know, all the blue stuff. You have the Forces, Force Negations, also Fluster Storms to get your combo to work, and then you have the Stalk Ups. Sideboard, so I just copied this list from the showcase. Let me just pop this on screen here. In the showcase challenge, we had this player here who went 9-2, third place. So I just copied their exact same list. I will put the link to this link in the link to this list in the description. You can check it out if you're interested. So I just copied what they wanted to do. No need to try and improve this because I don't know what I'm doing with this build specifically, and they clearly do. So sideboarding seems to be pretty straightforward stuff. You have the Magus of the Moons to shut down some lands, Defense Grid to get your combo to work. You have some Graveyard Hate, Cage, Surgical Fairies, Consigned Memories against colorless stuff. Hydroblast is good, Pyroblast is good. You have some Braid, which is very flexible. Brothers at the End is really cool because you get to deal 3 damage to everything if you want to. And Sulfur Elemental is really cool because white creatures get -1, which is just something to get rid of white creatures if your opponent might have this. Let's just dive in and see where we end up. Right, I'm on the play, so yes, I would like to play first. Thank you very much. This hand is not... So this seems like a trap to me. If you keep this, you're just going to do nothing the entire time, because I do have Show and Tell, but then I just have a bunch of lands and no win condition, so this seems to be like a mulligan to me. Yep, this seems a lot better, so I can turn to Show and Tell or Sneak Attack, or probably Show and Tell if I find it. Bit slow on the other hand. I have a lot of win conditions here, so what I'm probably going to do is I would want to pitch Omniscience to Force the Will or Atraxa. The question is going to be, do I want to win with Emrakul or Atraxa? I think I'm just going to get rid of Emrakul, but that's mainly because I can pitch Atraxa to Force the Will if I want to. That seems better, so I'm going to do that and play Falls. Probably just looking for a land here. It's a land, so I can turn to Stock Up. Yeah, let's see how good this card is. At least I know that this video is not going to be a 2-episode one because the Band Control is taking forever to win, but I don't think this is going to take long to win. So let's play Delta, let's fetch first. I'm just going to Stock Up immediately. Don't think there's any use in waiting. Okay, so let's see if we get... If they daze here, that's fine. No win condition, so I do need to find Sneak Attack or Show and Tell. So I think I want to have a land, then probably Ponder. I guess Ancient Tomb is the best one, and then I guess we take Ponder. Yeah, that seems to be the case. They just get Undercity Sewers, and let's see what's the follow-up. They put Troll into the graveyard. I'm gonna win through a Troll, so if they animate that, I'm not even gonna fight over it. Cost Bowmasters. Is that big of a deal? I don't think so. That's fine. Because my monster is going to be a lot bigger than that, and I'm fine pondering, drawing 1 extra card. If we find the win con here, we just win, so Let's ponder, dig for sneak attack, and I'm probably going to draw Flusterstorm now so I can sneak attack next turn. That seems fine. Let's do that. So play this. Ouch. Knife protection next turn, so we should be good. Let's play the Tomb and pass. Wasteland is unfortunate, but nothing I can do about it. They take Thundering Falls. That's interesting. That is not something that I would have expected. Let's tap blue first. Why would they take Thundering Falls? This just means that I have more mana available. That is interesting to say the least. Okay, so I'm going to let that one slide. Going to take some damage. So now the question is, do they have double force, basically? Okay, so let's City of Traitors here. Let's sneak attack. There we go. Let's see what they have. I think I'm just going to pitch Flusterstorm if they force. There we go. Reason for pitching Flusterstorm is since they wasteland my other source of mana, I'm not going to be able to Flusterstorm anyway, because I will need this land to play either sneak attack or show and tell if I draw another one. Looks like it resolves. So now I guess next turn we win. They could bounce sneak attack if they have Brazen Borrower. We'll see. Wasteland on Volcanic would be scary. I'm just going to yield to the turn. Let's see if they have Wasteland. They do not. Okay, so that's good. Entomb, so they will reanimate some stuff. And they reanimate Archon of Cruelty. So now I wish that I had kept Emrakul, but nothing I can do about that. Ouch, take some damage. Sure. Let's draw here. Ponder. Can't do that. So let's put Atraxa into the battlefield. Let's see what we get. We get another Atraxa. That's not bad. So I think I'm going to take Tarn and Atraxa. So I can Atraxa again. For sure. So that's the creature. That's the enchantment. That's the land. Then... Okay, so I think I've taken everything. Done. A lot of good stuff here. Let's play Scalding Tarn. Let's tap some mana. There we go. Going to play the Lotus Petal. I think I'm just going to stock up straight away. Need the mana from the City of Traitors now. It's a sorcery, so let's do that first. Let's see what's up. Another Traxa. That's really good. So, what do I want here? Definitely want another Traxa. But do I need anything else? I guess I could just take Flusterstorm. Could take stock up to gain more cards, though. Let's take the stock up. I'm going to slam in here. No blocks on their end, that makes sense. Let's pass. Sacrifice that one. Sure. They fetch. So now what I can do is if they attack, let the trigger happen, and then I Atraxa, and then my turn Atraxa again. This is ridiculous. It really is. Ponder. Go ahead, my friend. Go ahead. They brainstorm. Well, they are clearly digging, that's for sure. Okay, so they attack with the Archon. Okay. Gonna let the trigger happen. Just gonna discard Ponder. I do not need Ponder at this point. I could, in response, sneak attack first, though. That's probably better. Or maybe not, because that would mean I have to sacrifice the Atraxa, of course. So that would be stupid. So I'm just gonna let the trigger happen. Discard Ponder, and now I will sneak attack. So I can block the Archon. The Entomb. I guess I'm going to Atraxa first. I'm going to probably counter the Force, or counter the Entomb. There we go. But I want to draw some extra cards first. We have... I'm definitely taking the Force. We also have Emrakul, that's pretty nice. So, land, creature, instant, sorcery, and whatever. So, say done. Now I can very safely Force Will this Entomb, and I have enough Force Will left. Man, this deck is just so powerful. It is ridiculous. This is like playing Legacy on easy mode. That's how it feels. Don't need show and tell. Let's counter this. Let's block. And even if they reanimate, I don't care. They can't even do that because it takes 8 life, so they lose. Nice, at a healthy 14 life here. They reanimate my Atraxa. Now, is that an issue? Because they will reanimate, that will work, but since they've already played a land, I'm just going to slam in Emrakul here. So who cares? I guess I should probably just force because I can. Yeah, that's probably the best thing to do. Let's take the stock up so I can get Atraxa and Emrakul into play, because you never know what they might find, and this just guarantees that I win. They just concede. Yeah, this was just an easy game. Sideboarding. I guess I want to sideboard relatively light, so just play the Graveyard Hate. Could play 1 Pyroblast. I'm not sure if I need to. Let's see what we want to cut. Sideboarding will probably be the most difficult for me because I don't really know what I want to keep. Stock up is a bit slow against this matchup, so I think I'm going to trim down maybe 1 or 2. Maybe I could trim some number of monsters. We usually have time. And if they discard one of my monsters and reanimate this, I'd feel sad. So maybe I should get rid of 1 Atraxa, 1 Emrakul. I guess 1 Flusterstorm is fine since I bring in the Graveyard Hate. This seems fine. I could see myself cutting 2 Flusterstorms though. Maybe cut the Force of Negation to keep in 1 monster, but I'm gonna try it like this. This is one of the best tips that I can give you, that if you're unsure how to sideboard, trimming is always a good idea if you're unsure about what to cut. Because that means, like, I've now trimmed pretty much all new singletons, so I'm never going to get completely blown out by having cut all of 1 type of card. Yeah, this seems really good. I'm going to keep. Okay, so they Delta into Underground Sea, and they Tameo. Do I care? Probably not. I'm just going to say fine. Bunch of lands here. I'm just going to play this and pass. I think if they want to win with Tameo, they are in trouble for sure. Orcs Bowmasters. I already have everything that I need, so I don't care about Bowmasters. That can resolve. End of turn, let's go for Thundering Falls. See what's on top. Force Negation. I don't think I want that. Or maybe I do. Maybe I do. Because if they force, I force back. Yeah, I'm going to leave it on top. It's not bad. I will just ponder. As I said, taking 1 damage is irrelevant when you have a Atraxa. I'm fine taking 1 more damage. Okay, this is really good. I think I'm going to take Surgical now. Do I want Sneak Attack? I don't think so. I already have double Show and Tell, so I think I'm just going to go this. There we go. I'm going to draw 1, so take 1 damage from Bowmasters. Do not care. Next turn, let's try and kill them. They just draw and slam in with everything. Sure. They draw a card with the Clue token. That's a good sign. No wastelands, really good, so I can play around days. I guess we're going to try and win the game. So let's just show and tell. Okay, so they have a monster in hand. That went too easy. Let's Atraxa. Depending on which one they have in the hand, it's fine. No monster into the hand. Well, that was too easy. Okay, so let's Atraxa here. I'm on my guard. This has been going too easy. They must have something in their hand. So they fetch, and what do? Petty Theft. Yeah, I think I'm just going to force. Then again, do I want to force? Honestly, I have Show and Tell again. Now, they can wasteland my City of Traders, which is annoying, but I am going to Atraxa first. I think I'm just going to force here, if I'm being honest. Because if they do fight back, I still have Show and Tell left, so I'm okay here. Just doing this. Getting Atraxa into play. Now let's see what we get. Lots of good ones here. So we have Petal, Brainstorm, Ponder, Sneak, Emrakul, City of Traitors. Let's play the Petal first. Pass, no force effect, that's scary, but I mean I have Surgical, so I should be fine. I have to discard, and I think I'm just going to discard this Brainstorm. As long as they have Bowmasters, that's really bad. And I have more than enough stuff that I need. They draw, I mean, they're digging. This seems like a desperate draw to me. They Wasteland, Volcanic, sure. And they just pass. Okay. I could Surgical to see what's in their hand, but I don't think I want to do that. I think I'm just going to try and play Sneak Attack here. Let's add 2, let's play City. Play Sneak Attack. That works. Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna sack the Petal, Sneak Attack in Emrakul. And let's just attack. There we go, Annihilator 6. They could consign to memory here, but I mean, sure. Whatever. I don't see how I can potentially lose this game. Okay, so they sacrifice a lot of stuff here. Kudos to them for not conceding. Yeah, Tamio, that's going to be really important. Okay, so they just block. Nice. Nice. Okay, cool. I dig this. They are not conceding. I can appreciate that. And now they concede. This was not close. We just ran over them. Wow. Okay, next round. On to play again. Always nice with this kind of deck. Let's see what opening hand gives us. So I do have a win con. I have protection. I'm going to keep since I have Ponder, so I should be able to find a monster here. Playing against the Yorion deck. Important for me to know. Let's Ponder. See what's up. I'm going to try and go for a turn 2 if I find Show and Tell. Maybe I should wait a turn so I can Fluster Storm, though. There's a show. Sorry, I already have Show and Tell. I needed to have a monster. So I'm going to shuffle. Okay, so we're in trouble now. Mainly because I didn't find a cantrip or a monster or stock up. But it's okay, we have time. I'm not worried yet. Force of Will. Okay, let's play this so I can get a Surveil land next turn. And that means if I do find a monster next turn, I have Show and Tell with Fluster Storm / Force of Will backup. Not bad. End of turn, Thundering Falls. They just play Flooded Strand. Let's see what's on top here. Stock up. I'm going to keep that one. That's why we play it into the deck, because it just wins you the game as well. And I have protection for this stock up. If I'm playing as a control deck, which seems to be the case, this is really good. They will fight over this probably. Brainstorm, okay. Possible I'm going to be able to cash in this Fluster Storm really, really well. If it resolves, even better. It does resolve, so we will get... We have everything that we want. So I guess I'm just going to take Traxa for sure. And then do I want more protection? I guess I do. Because I need another blue card. So I think we're just going to take another Force here. Yep, that seems all good. And probably going to try and win next turn. Hedge Maze, okay. Up the Beanstalk. That's fine, I think. Is it fine? Is this a way how they could potentially come back into the game? So if I fight over this, they force back, I Fluster Storm. That means Show and Tell will resolve. I draw so many cards with Traxa. Maybe I should fight over this. This is a way to get back into the game for them. But that does mean that I'm not able to protect Traxa from removal spells if they have it. Beanstalk means they have a lot of ways to draw cards. I think I'm actually going to fight over this. I think Atraxa should give me enough cards to be ahead, but they could come back here if they are able to resolve this Beanstalk. So I'm just going to fight over this. And even if everything does go wrong, at least they've used all of their 5+ mana cost spells, so they can't draw cards once we've put Atraxa into play. The fact that they force signals, or pretty much tells it all. Now I'm just going to Show and Tell. Probably play a land first. Okay, so does my Show and Tell resolve? Basically, the question is, do they have another force? They do. Wow, their hand was force, force of will, force of will, force of negation. So it's fine. We just need to find another win condition, and then we're good. If they play Beanstalk now, I'm not afraid of it as I was before, because they've used double force, so the gas is probably going to be out. So we just need to find a win condition, but we are drawing a monsters here. That's what the deck does. So too many counter spells from my opponent. But we were clearly correct to fight over the Beanstalk. Could have potentially... maybe what I could have done is I could have just... them forcing my force. I could have let that one resolve and keep the Flusterstorm for my show and tell. That is possible. Maybe that was better looking back on it. I'm not sure, even now. I mean, it's easy to say that after after everything has already happened, but maybe that would have been better. I'm just gonna let them do their thing. Interesting that we have a Narset in a Up the Beanstalk build. This should be a really good matchup though for show and tell. You pretty much only lose if they have a combination of all the counter magic that they could possibly have. For example, triple force from my opponent was really good. Okay, so they use the Ponder here. Let's see what they get with Narset. Reveal Brainstorm, that's fine. Okay, let's yield. They Brainstorm end of turn, sure. I'm not gonna let this go. Let this game go on for much longer. They are not taking Yorion into their hand. That's interesting. So they probably have Force Will that they can hardcast. Otherwise, I don't see why they wouldn't. Well, unless they want to start hardcasting stuff like Solitude. Okay, they take it into the hand. They were listening. Let's play the land. No longer need the City of Traitors here. They will fetch, get Sanctuary, take force. So I'm going to draw one more card, and then I'm just going to concede. The fact that they also have the Narsets pretty much tells you everything you need to know, and now they also have the Yorion, so... I know how this deck works, as you've seen from my previous videos. And by this, I mean, of course, Band Control. Ponder. I mean, I'm going to play it. I can't draw, but at least I can put something on top. Guess I'm going to take the Stalk Up. Let's yield. If I draw 2 win cons, I could potentially win through this Narset. And the reason for doing it like this is that Stalk Up doesn't actually draw the card, so it works through the Narset. So they Brainstorm, slam in, ouch. Reveal Force or Negation. I already know that Force or Will in their hand, so I'm going to concede. This game's over. So I think I want to have Magus. I also think I want to have Pyroblast, and that's probably it. Defense Grid's really good. Going to also play that. Okay, so I'm going to trim some monsters again. Maybe I can cut Omniscience. Sideboarding's difficult because you want to keep... You don't want to go too low on your win cons, but you don't want to... I really don't want to cut Counter Magic. But then what do I cut? I guess I could cut one Stock Up, although it's really good in the matchup. But there's so many good cards in this matchup. I guess if I bring in Defense Grids, I could trim down. Pyroblast, I guess, is better than Force Negation. I guess cut Force Negation because I'm always going to be the one who's going to start the battle. One card left. I think I'm going to cut down one Lotus Petal and submit. I guess this is okay. I do have the win, but I need protection for their forces. Now, opponent, keep in mind that we are playing against Beanstalk, so they have 80 cards. So them having triple force in the opening hand like last time are extremely low. So that is a weakness. We want to win as soon as possible. So I could see myself trying just to slam down Show and Tell turn 2. Maybe I should even end of turn Brainstorm to dig for Force Will effects. But I guess it's safer to just wait one turn so I can Brainstorm a lot deeper and then try to go for turn 3. That's currently where I'm at. Wasteland's perfect. Just gonna Brainstorm here. Kinda hoping they do that again. Yeah. That makes Wasteland really good for us. It's so weird that we want them to Wasteland here. I'm not going to play Ancient Tomb, so I'm just going to play Scalding Tarn. And we are going to go for it next turn for sure. Ponder is okay. I will just go for... I was about to say that I will just go for Thundering Pulse, but maybe not. I think I'm just going to draw, actually. Because a lot of these decks actually play Life from the Loams, and I don't want to get Wasteland locked here. Okay, let's try and get him. It just resolves, that's interesting. So they Binding Atraxa, that's okay. I'm going to draw so many cards that it's probably fine. So we have land, artifact, creature, instant, sorcery, and enchantment done. Let's play the Lotus Petal straight away. Probably just gonna slam down Mag of the Moon next turn. I think I want to keep the sneak attack. Probably not. Maybe I do. It's better than Show and Tell. I think I'm gonna have to get rid of one of these two. What if they Wasteland Ancient Tomb? Is it that bad? Probably not, because I still have Magus. Let's get rid of the Show and Tell and maybe a land here. Yeah, let's just get rid of a land. They fetch Tropical Island, go for Carpet of Flowers. Everything is going to be a mountain. I think I want to fight over this, honestly. I think I just win the game if I resolve this Mag of the Moon, probably. Brainstorm response, this is okay. Even if Carpet of Flowers resolves, it's still not that big of a deal. Because I will always just have one island. Okay, I am just going to fetch up an island here. Let's play this Magus of the Moon. It resolves. Nice. Let's ponder. Looking for a monster here. There we go. So what I can do next turn is I can play Sneak Attack. And if they counter... So I'm going to take the Simian Spirit Guide, because if they counter, then I can Pyroblast the counter. If they don't, I can use the Spirit Guide to immediately get the Emrakul. So I don't think I want to have Force. I'm going to put them like this. Seems smart. Brainstorm, fine. Planes, okay. Okay, so we drew the Emrakul that we knew about, of course, so let's play the Sneak Attack. That happens, so I'm going to pitch this, get the Emrakul into play, and if I get to attack with this, we probably win. They concede. Nice! Next game. Do I want to change anything here? I was pretty happy about the way that went. I do think Stockup is just excellent in the matchup. Maybe I should keep them. But what are we cutting? Magus was not that great, if I'm being honest. They did have access to basics. Maybe I should bring in... Or take out one Magus for the Stockups. I'm going to keep... I think this worked out great. Let's just submit. Hand's pretty good. Do I want to be extremely greedy? The thing is, I have forces, but I don't have a monster. I don't have a land. Magus is really good, though. What if I brainstorm and I fail to find the land, though? How risky do I want to play this? If this was a tournament, I would mulligan, so I think I'm going to mulligan. Yeah, this is much better. Let's keep. Get rid of the mountain, I guess. Or maybe I should just get rid of Traxa or Emrakul. I think... Against this deck, I probably want to have a Traxa because it draws me so many cards if they can get rid of Emrakul. Yeah, I think the Traxa is better. They just play land and pass, as you do as a control deck. I'm probably going to ponder. Pyroblast, that's not bad. Still going to ponder though. Looks like they're going to Pyroblast this. That's okay. It really is. In response, they Spell Pierce. That's okay. Nope. If they Wasteland now, that's a bit unfortunate. Probably the only thing I'm afraid of. Yep, that happens. Still fine. Ponder, sure. Let's start by playing a mountain, I guess, because I want to hide the volcanic for as long as I can. Also allows me to Pyroblast a potential blue card. And next turn I can brainstorm, and if they want to fight over this, I can Pyroblast. Two basics against each other. Magic as Richard Garfield intended it. That's not true. They played the duels in the first set, so... yeah, I should probably play the Misty. Yeah, let's do that. They're just chilling. I'm not gonna get my Surveyor land because I'm gonna Brainstorm. Let's play Volcanic and pass. I'm gonna end of turn, Brainstorm. In their end step, of course. Brainstorm. Do I want to Pyroblast this? Don't think so. Daemon Priest. Take Yorion to the hand. Okay. This should be a turn where I can try to go for it. It's Brainstorm. Sneak attack it is. So, yeah, I have sneak attack with Pyroblast and Force Up and Atraxa. So I think I'm getting rid of this Magus. Definitely going to go for it this turn. And I will try and fight over this with Force Will first, because I want to be able to sneak attack straight away. They force, I force back. And they force back again, so I have to Pyroblast. And that should be good enough, unless they can bounce sneak attack. They have used 1, 2, so triple force and spell pierce. So the chances of them having more counter magic are extremely low. So if we untap here, we probably win. They play Misty. Do they have Leyline Binding? They have Comet, Stellar, Pap. Okay, so they'll deal damage to me. Brainstorm 2. Let's start by doing sneak attack. Get my Atraxa into play, and let's see if we find Emrakul. No monster, so let's take... probably going to be this one, because I have stock up. That means I can find another monster, so I'm going to say done. Play the petal, play the land, and stock up first. Play the land, response to the trigger, add some mana, yes please. Stock up. Let's get some more monsters here. There we go, that's what I wanted to see. Emrakul, and I guess I just take Force of Will too. Any order, doesn't matter. Let's get the Emrakul here and just attack them and win. Yep, they just concede. This matchup is really good for sneak attack. I mean, I lost to this one with playing Band Control in the quarterfinals, so I know. You really need to have a flurry of all the Force of Will effects if you want to win. This deck is insane. Stock up is just such an upgrade. I'm curious where this will end. Let's go to the next round. On the play again. Pretty lucky on that end. I have stock up and I can play a turn 2, so I'm going to keep. This is probably why this is such a good upgrade for this deck. If you can have stock up in your opening hand, you will find what you need. It digs so deep. It's pretty ridiculous, honestly. I think, I'm just saying it right now, sneak attack is tier 1 again with the printing of stock up. It's nuts. They don't have the void. Okay, cool. So that's a card gone from their hand. Oh, looks like we're playing against Helm. So that just changed things. Let's just play stock up here. Cool, no monster yet, but we do have sneak attack, and I guess we take omniscience, so I can play everything I want to. I could also take force, because I can hardcast force negation next turn, and I still have force of will. And with me having sneak attack, I don't really need omniscience, really, so that's probably better. Okay. Espion stage. Well, I was not expecting that. Just going to play the Delta pass. I want to be able to hardcast force negation. And if I do find a monster, I can just do it immediately with a sneak attack. Bowmasters, sure. We saw how bad Bowmasters is against this deck. You do not care at all. I'm even fine probably firing off a Brainstorm into this Bowmasters if it wins me the game. Petal resolves. Depths. So depth is an issue. If they just naturally have the combo, that is an issue. Okay. So I'm just going to chill. There we have a Atraxa. It does buy me time. Don't think I have an option. Let's play the sneak. Okay. Pass. Now we can still win here. So block the token with the Atraxa, and then if we gain some life and we gain some cards, so hopefully find Emrakul and just make them sack everything. Okay, so they attack. We get Volk. Get your Atraxa. See what we find. Monster, please. There we go. So I think we just win next turn. And they concede, yeah. This deck is ridiculous. It really is so disgusting. What do I even want? I honestly don't think I want anything. Is that... yeah, Magus in the Moon, I guess, is too good not to play. So I think I'm going to put 2 Magus of the Moon in. That's just too good not to. I'm not sure how good Force Negation is. Probably just a bit meh. Plus Storms are also not great. Everything else I really want to keep. Maybe 1 stock up. It's a bit slow, especially on the draw. So maybe 1 stock up and 1 Flusterstorm. Yeah, let's submit. Not bad. I'm going to keep. Probably just want to find some like Ancient Tomb and just ran them through as quickly as possible. This seems like another extremely good matchup for this deck, really. I think this is one of the examples where Orcish Bowmasters really is not that good of a magic card. It really is not. I think it's probably one of the more overplayed cards in Legacy right now. And this deck will punish it very, very heavily. And my opponent mulligans the 3, so they might just concede and we win from there. But that's mainly because they need to mulligan so aggressively against this deck. They just concede. This deck is so powerful that you cannot keep mediocre. And we would have drawn the Ancient Tombs too. This is just insane. It really is. Turn 2, Sneak Attack. Well, let's go to the next round. On the draw. Well, that's unfortunate. But let's see if we can make it work. Yep, turn 2, Show and Tell. Let's keep playing against the Yorion deck. I think Yoshiwata usually plays Death and Taxes. Ether Vial off of Scrubland. So indeed, Death and Taxes. Okay, not ideal, but I'm just going to play the land. End of turn, Brainstorm. I will just definitely Show and Tell. Should be a good matchup for us. Thoughtseize. Let's Brainstorm in response. Now this is good because my hand is pretty good against the Brainstorm. So I'm just going to hide Show and Tell, and the rest is all... it's 2 the same, so it doesn't really matter what they take. That's always nice. Oh, we just have double of everything. Okay, I guess. Sure, I guess. So, does it matter in the slightest? I guess I just hide my Emrakuls. Like, what do I care? Yeah, whatever. Let's just hide Emrakul. Whatever. They took Sneak Attack. Sure. So let's Show and Tell. There we have the Emrakul. They play Overlord. Okay. They put a counter on a Vial. Will they attack? Caracas. Nice. So that wow, that's really good. That really is good that they had an opening hand. So I guess I need to rely on Sneak Attack now. Does it change things? I guess so, because what I can do is, so if I so let's play this first so I don't mess up. So I'm gonna do this. Because what's gonna happen is if I play the Sneak Attack, right, I can put the Emrakul into play, then they can bounce the Emrakul with the Caracas, and then I can just put into play with Sneak Attack and again, and it still has haste in the combat phase, so I think that's how we win. So it will now depend on whether or not they have the ability to get rid of this Sneak Attack. That's pretty much how it will all depend upon. But I think this, you cannot lose this matchup unless they have Caracas. That's how it feels to me. Phantom Blade, what's this? Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So they slam in here. Ouch. They will bring back Skyclave. That's a pretty good one. So I guess we lose. It depends on my draw step, but I think we lose here. Yeah, not much to be said. The spells in their hand lined up perfectly against mine, and especially Caracas. That's yikes. If Sneaky Show is really going to be the bane of the format again, maybe more people should start playing Caracas again. Bowmasters in response to my Ponder. Yeah, that's not going to change anything. I think we lose anyway, but I'm going to try and see what's on top. Nah, it's not going to cut it. Let's concede. Okay, so Caracas. How much do I want to go all in on stopping Caracas from working? That is the question. Not even convinced that Surf Elemental is worth it. I think I just want to have a Braid to get rid of artifacts. Brotherhood's End is really good, and then probably Magus for the Moon, just to stop Caracas from working. These three are probably going to be good. Then I think I want to cut Force Negations, Flusterstorms. These are all pretty bad. Anything else I want to change? Maybe Force will. Candle Magic is not that good against this deck. Could also cut one stock up. Maybe that's better. Let's submit. Yeah, let's keep. Turn to Sneak Attack. Yes, please. I'm going to start with Thundering Falls. If they wasteland that, it's okay. I think I want to get rid of that now that I have Sneak Attack. Let's play the Petal out and yield to the turn. Swamp. No. I think I'm going to keep Ponder here. Because I just want to find a monster as soon as I've resolved Sneak Attack. And the Force will. Fine, I guess. I'm just going to play Sneak Attack now. I didn't want them to Thoughtseize that. Okay, so we have Sneak Attack. Now we just need to find a monster and we win. Caracas 2. How many Caracases does this deck even play? Oh, I just looked it up and they actually play 4. Okay. Then it does make sense that they have a lot of them. Didn't expect that. It makes sense. I mean... Okay, Emrakul, that's good. So I'm going to... I guess I take Force now. And next turn I just want to be able to play Emrakul and then play it again. So I don't think... I'm going to need to have Blue Delta and Emrakul, so I can't take the Force. Let's take the land now, so they can't discard the Emrakul. If they play a removal spell on the Sneak Attack next turn, that really does suck, but so be it. Yep, they did have the Skyclave, so that's something that I was afraid of. I still need to have the Emrakul, so I'm going to draw it and then pass. Or I could also just... I could also get Surveil Land. With them having Caracas, I need to have exactly Sneak Attack, so I'm just going to get... I've already used my Surveil Land, but I just don't want to draw into the Emrakul. I need to have a way to find Sneak Attack. Huh. Not the best. Probably just going to shuffle these all away. Don't think I need another land. I don't think I want to have 4, so I'm going to shuffle these 2. What I like about this game is that even though Sneak Attack is powerful, it just shows you that this deck, if it will become tier 1 in the meta again, it is easy to hate out, because we are now playing against one matchup and they had the hate cards against us and we are not doing anything at all. So it just shows you that this deck is not something that is as resistant to hate as something like Reanimator is. Overlord, sure. Max of the Moon is good here, because if I do end up being able to get that Emrakul into play, at least they will not be able to bounce it. Well, let's just play it. Do you have another way to get rid of this, my friend? Probably Philia. That would be really good for them. No Philia, okay. Let's just yield to the turn. Flicker Wisp. Same thing. Same thing. So I do get a 4/4. Nice. And then they can just get rid of the Sneak Attack. Island. I guess I just Brotherhood's End here. So we killed their threats. At least it does provide me with 2 4/4s, which is... I'm just going for beatdown now. It's not where I want to be, but it's not bad either. They have containment priests. Okay, that's fine. I'm not relying on my Emrakul to ever hit the board anyway. So as you can see, they have a lot of hate cards, and once you have hate cards, the deck is fragile. So I guess I just play Magus. I just want more threats. Now they will be able to play the Yorion next turn, so let's just slam in here, see what they do. They block, okay. Play the Magus. And now I guess we will see Yorion, and that's going to be an issue. I think we did. I didn't see us coming back from this. Probably going to draw 1 card, maybe 2, and then concede. They bring back Flicker Wisp too. Yikes, scary, because now they can make all of my illusions irrelevant. Okay, I guess that's something. So I'm just going to do this. Do I want to do anything else? Nope, let's just pass. So now what they're going to do is they're probably going to Flicker Wisp the Magus with the Moon, and then they can bounce Emrakul again with Caracas, but I have to try. I think not doing anything isn't going to solve any of my problems here. There we go, as expected. So now I just need to hope that I draw another win condition here. Sneak attack or another show and tell. Deafening Silence too, interesting. Not sure if I would have played that against this deck specifically. I'm just going to brainstorm if they have Bowmasters. I have to. I can't not do this. So they do have Bowmasters. Time to concede. What we have drawn. So, as I said, even though Sneaky Show is a really powerful deck... Okay, nothing more useful. It's a really powerful deck, but it's easy to hate. Like, if you see that you have some targeted hate spells, you can very easily hate out this deck, which is just much more difficult to do with stuff like Reanimator, for instance, because... the thing about Reanimator being too powerful right now is the fact that it can switch. It is both an aggro and a combo deck, where this sneak attack deck is a dedicated combo deck, and if you can shut it down with 1 or 2 spells, like 1 Caracas and I just didn't do anything anymore, it's easy to hate. So I'm fine with, it's really, really powerful, but the meta can adjust much more easily to this deck than the other one. Let's see if we can win the last one. Sorry for the slight change in camera, but I'm recording this last game in the evening while I was recording the other ones during the day. It's so cool that you get to do that now. It's just moving to YouTube was the best decision I ever made. It's good to get. I can just decide this for myself. You know, I'm a young father, so being able to record when it fits for me is just very, very good. Anyway, we had the mulligan, of course. That was a very bad hand. This is a very good hand. It has the win con as protection. Now, do I really want to have Simian Spirit Guide? Because I will not be able to Flusterstorm if I have... So I'm not going to be able to Flusterstorm with Simian Spirit Guide. I also do not need Spirit Guide for Show and Tell. So I think the Guide is the worst one in here. So I'm going to get rid of that one. Say done. I think we just try and go for it game or turn 2. Depends on what I'm up against, of course. But playing against my good friend Zach from Eternal Turtles. Island Ponder. Sure. I'm probably going to play Thundering Falls first, regardless of what I draw. Ideally, I would want to play the Show and Tell when I can have Flusterstorm up, because it's force negation. If I go for it my turn, I will not be able to protect it, which is unfortunate. So I'm really hoping to draw, I don't know, something like a Volcanic Island. Then I can just turn 3, go for Show and Tell with Flusterstorm backup. That should be good. Ponder. Okay, let's play Thundering Falls. If it's not a land, probably has to go. Well, that's awkward. It's a land, but it's not. Yeah, I guess I should have specified. If it's not a fetch land or Volcanic Island, it's got to go. Now, having drawn Ponder, that's quite good because I can just ponder into another land. Flooded Strand. Okay. Plains. Are we playing against Jeskai control? Okay, never mind. Nomad's on core, so it's not Jeskai. Okay, scary because I could be dead next turn. So I think we're just going to go for a Traxa. Stock up. So I'm a bit afraid of days, I'm not gonna lie. So do I just want to fire off the stock up, make them have the days? But then the thing is, if they play the creature, if they play the Cephalid, none of my cards actually work. So because Flusterstorm doesn't hit it, Force Negation doesn't hit it. So I think I could also ponder, look for a land, but I guess stock up is just better. Yeah, I'm gonna go for stock up. They do have the days. Okay, so at least we've gotten rid of days. So let's just pass. Of course, I'm not gonna pay because I can't. And they probably would have dazed the Ponder as well. So same thing, because I would have always played Ponder before playing the City of Traitors. Okay, looks like they didn't have it yet. Well, they want to attack first, possible. Land, please. Not a land. I guess I stock up. Maybe I should ponder. Nah, let's stock up. It's too good not to resolve. And usually Breakfast plays double days, so I don't think... If they want to stop this from happening, they need force. Okay, so did they find counter magic? They did not. Ooh, no land. That is bad, but we do have double force, Will. That should be good too, right? Because I can just slam down, show until next turn. I guess I take double force. Even if I had drawn a land at this point, I probably wouldn't have played it, since I have City of Traitors, but now it's... I am not unhappy with the stock up. Let's just be clear about that. Hedge Maze, sure. It's a bit awkward because if I show and tell now and they actually put Nadu into play, that's just so awkward. I mean, so be it, I guess. I'm just going to go for show and tell now. Okay, luckily for us, they did not have Nadu. So now we are good to go because we have Atraxa 2. Looking pretty good. No monster here. That's interesting. So I think I'm going to take this Brainstorm Petal, land, show and tell, sneak attack. Let's play the Petal. Do I want to play Scalding Tarn here? I think I do, since I already have show and tell. I could also ponder with Lotus Petal first, though. I think I just want to have a monster, and I also have show and tell, so maybe I should do that first. Emrakul is good. So now that I have the Emrakul, I guess we just next turn go sneak attack. Yeah, let's do it like that. Let's get rid of show and tell. I also don't need a lot of other things. It's crazy, but I think I'm just going to get rid of Brainstorm and Ponder. Okay, so what does my opponent have left? Archive, trigger, sure. Leave it on top, that's interesting. Another Nomads, yeah, definitely not fighting over that one. Brainstorm. So with Urza Saga, they could potentially get Pithing Needle. That's a bit of an issue. But I still think I'm probably just going to resolve this sneak attack. I probably should. It resolves. Okay, let's pass. At least they have to get Pithing Needle now. It's something. They just get Shuko. Okay. So I guess they have the win now. So let's see if they have more forces than I do. They concede. Okay, let's go to sideboarding. So against this deck, I think Magus for the Moon is going to be really good. Pyroblast should be fine. I'm not sure if Consigned Memory is worth it against the Sagas. Brotherhood's End's probably okay. Maybe a Braid. I do think I want to have some removal spells. Don't really like the Force Negation. They are pretty bad. Flusterstorms are pretty medium too, so I think these can go. And then probably just trim one stock up and one monster. And I prefer Emrakul, I think. Could also cut Omniscience. But let's take Emrakul and submit. Okay, what do we have here? Well, this is interesting. This is pretty good, but Simeon's Spirit Guide. I can't keep this. I really want to, but I can't. I really can't. Yeah. I'm gonna keep. I don't want to mulligan to 5. This has a lot going for it. I have two draw step normally to find me a way to play the stock up. Again, not ideal, but it's too good to mulligan. They ponder, sure, that's fine. They did shuffle with the ponder, so I'm just going to play the land, play the petal, pass. I can also get my surveil land here. So if it's a bad card, I can get rid of it and have another draw step. Lots of good cards that I can draw, so we'll just see if it's good enough. Should I just try and go for it turn 2 if I can? I should probably play stock up first, because that's why stock up is so good in this deck. It's like you can just use it as a bait spell. They counter it, fine. I already had everything I needed in my hand. I could have braid here, but I don't want to. So what's on top? Emrakul. I do not want Emrakul. Land? It's not a land. It's really awkward here. I'm gonna have to... So, how do I want to play this? If I go for stock up and it fails, I think the game's over. If I go for show and tell and it fails, the game's also over. So, I think I'm just gonna have to slam down show and tell and hope that it's good enough, because if this resolves, at least we win the game. They have days, this is pain. So probably game over. But as I said, after a mulligan to 6, this is just what we accepted that we were going to try and do. Now, we could get super lucky here if we just top deck Ancient Tomb. I can just stock up and then the game's not over. But let's just see what happens. Archive, sure. Leave it on top, that's scary. Brainstorm, let's fire it off. Pretty bad. I'm gonna play the island pass. Yeah, the game's over. I have 2 dead draws here. So, well, technically I could abrade Shuko, but I mean, I do not see this ending well for us. So they end of turn brainstormed into Cavern, and I'm already going to hover over to my concession button. And they have the Nadu. So that was it. Let's go to games for 3. Yeah, this is a lot better. I'm just gonna fire off this ponder first. I just need to find a way to win the game here. Show and tell or sneak attack is good. Let's ponder first. Well, that's not bad. Thing is, of course, if I go for a turn 2, even though I draw another show and tell, I can't just slam it right away. Then again, I do have brainstorm. So I guess it's just too good not to do that. Make him have days, I guess. To me, it's fine. And if they do have the days, at least I'm going to be able to, next turn brainstorm, find another show and tell. I think I'm just going to try and get it. Okay, so it's a Force Will, pitching Force Will. That's not bad. So if I top deck a land, I think we're good. If I don't, I still have brainstorm, so not in the world. To me, of flips, that's also really not that big of a deal. Okay, so they just attack, of course, as they should. Okay, draw land. Ancient Tomb would be great. They fetch in my upkeep. That's interesting. Plain, so I guess they have Containment Priest. Orm's Chant. I'm going to brainstorm response. Yikes. Game over. Wow, okay. That sucks. So, Mana Screw twice. That's unfortunate. Normally, I don't think this deck should have a lot of issues with Mana Screw, but I guess it happens. Now, we only have 1 dead draw, so it's not game over yet, especially since we still have Force. But we are in trouble now. We need lands. So I'm not that afraid of Tameo since I have Brotherhood's End. But I need the next draw to be a good one. They will draw end of turn, of course. Edge Maze, sure. I think I'm just going to go for it as soon as I can, with me having Force backup. Leave a card on top, so I guess that's a Force Will effect, or a Daze, also possible. They slam in with Timeo, of course. Okay, so let's have a good draw step here. Basically, a land or a cantrip is good. I'd also take something like Petal if I have to. There we go. That's what we wanted. So I think I'm just going to go for it. There's no sense in waiting. I could also stock up, but I can do that after. Let's see if we can get this to resolve. Oh no, I couldn't stock up because I'm going to have to pitch the Force. Okay, so they draw. Probably going to be Force. Okay, so I'm going to Force back. That's Force number 3 for them, so chances of them having another effect like this is very low, but you never know. Okay, so let's slam in the Emrakul. They have Nadu. Okay, as long as they don't have the follow-up, that's okay. Let's yield. Nomads. Okay. Now, this is a situation where I'm actually gonna have them play it out, because with me having Brotherhood's End, I could just wipe the board and then attack with Emrakul and have them sacrifice everything. So I'm just going to cut this and go back to where they finished their loop. Okay, so this is what they get. So I think we're dead. Oh no, not yet, not yet. Teferi, okay. Bounce the Emrakul. Here they slam in. They will also brainstorm, but that's all fine. Fortunately, the land came just a turn too late, I believe. How are we gonna come back from this? If I top deck Ancient Tomb? Brainstorm. Don't think that's gonna cut it. Let's see. Okay, they have some triggers. There's the Illusionist. Okay, Brainstorm. Oof, missing a land drop again. That is game, I think. Yep, that's game. Let's just concede. Okay, so wrapping up this deck. Okay, so wrapping up this deck felt insane, really. The games that we lost felt like they had in game number 4 they had the lock pieces that's difficult for this deck to deal with, as I discussed before, and game number 5 stuck on mana twice, which is unfortunate. Normally this deck plays a lot of mana sources, 24 in total plus 12 cantrips, so it rarely happens, but it's still magic that happens sometimes. But I think this is a force to be reckoned with, and it is very, very scary. What is apparent is that once one of those hate pieces hit the board, it becomes very, very difficult to deal with, especially if you have something like Containment Priest. There's not a lot of ways how you can kill it, being 1 Abrade and 1 Brotherhood's End, assuming you brought it in. So that is a big weakness of the deck, but this is insane, and I think if you wanna, it's easy to pick up, right? I don't think we made any mistake here in the gameplay that we had. Sideboarding is different. But the deck is so straightforward. You can just pick this up and play Legacy Tournament. It's quite easy to play and ideal for a starter of Legacy to pick up a good deck and do well with. Okay, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed this, and I'll see you for a next video soon. Bye.